You are, after all, what you think. Your emotions are the slaves to your thoughts, and you are the slave to your emotions. There is no fate which cannot be surmounted by scorn. How hurtful it can be to deny one's true self and live a life of lies just to appease others. You don't have the right to complain about your life if you're not willing to change it. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. An unbreakable mask and cunning are the keys for executing a plan flawlessly. All I am fighting for every day is to make up for the time I had lost. Use your time wisely. Imagining something is better than remembering something. Those who grant sympathy to guilt grant none to innocence. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Keep your friends for friendship, but work with the skilled and competent. Life is too short when you think of the length of death. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, and then they attack you and want to burn you, and then they build monuments to you. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Great heroes need great sorrows and burdens, or half their greatness goes unnoticed. It is all part of the fairy tale. The best way to prepare for life is to begin to live. From what we get, we can make a living. What we give, however, makes a life. Always forgive, but never forget, else you will be a prisoner of your own hatred and doomed to repeat your mistakes forever. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. The greatest blessing granted to mankind come by way of madness, which is a divine gift. When you take control of your attitude, you take control of your life. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. No man can be a failure if he thinks he's a success. If he thinks he is a winner, then he is. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. And if my heart be scarred and burned, the safer, for all I learned. Don't leave a piece of jewelry at his house so you can go back and get it later. He may be with his real girlfriend. A breeze, a forgotten summer, a smile, all can fit into a storefront window. I just want to teach people how to be comfortable. Stop being so scared. Most of the basic material a writer works with is acquired before the age of 15. Fazest Abhas Dasri. One should learn even from one's enemies. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Fear is oftentimes born of ignorance and misconception. It lays waste to the landscape of the soul. It is better to remain silent at the risk of being thought a fool than to talk and remove all doubt of it. Friendship with oneself is all important, because without it one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. Es ist nicht genick, zu wissen, man muss auch winden. Es ist nicht genick, zu wollen, man muss auch tun. There is no doubt fiction makes a better job of the truth. Surround yourself only with people who are going to take you higher. Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope. One mistake does not have to rule a person's entire life. If anyone on the verge of action should judge himself according to the outcome, he would never begin. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. Living a princely life requires that you learn to think and reason like the prince, talk and behave like him, react like him as well. I have a theory that as long as you have one good friend, one real friend, you can get through anything. Books have a way of finding their way into our lives, usually right when we need them the most. Trusting yourself means living out what you already know to be true. A smart person knows how to talk. A wise person knows when to be silent. It is impossible to build one's own happiness on the unhappiness of others. This perspective is at the heart of Buddhist teachings. Words don't have the power to hurt you, unless that person meant more to you than you are willing to confess. The harder you fall, the heavier your heart. The heavier your heart, the stronger you climb. The stronger you climb, the higher your pedestal. There is something incredibly nostalgic and significant about the annual cascade of autumn leaves. The whole house seemed to exhale a melancholy breath of emptiness. Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough. The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. There are two ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Metaphors have a way of holding the most truth in the least space. Hopes, wants, and wishes, all cast across the night sky with my heart in tow. Tell them a lie big enough, they'll worship you as a sage. Tell them a truth big enough, and they'll mock you. If stars needed the sky's permission to shine, the universe would be a very dark place. That is why enemies can be great motivators. They serve as fuel for your fire. Go slowly, so that you do not bite your tail by accident. It's exhausting, the energy it takes to unknow a truth. Knighthood lies above eternity. It doesn't live off fame, but rather deeds. Weekends don't count unless you spend them doing something completely pointless. We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. If you have joy in your heart, even the most mundane moments will become extraordinary. The fossil record implies trial and error, the inability to anticipate the future, features inconsistent with a great designer. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. When you've tried everything and failed, try everything else and succeed. We had the experience but missed the meaning. An approach to the meaning restores the experience in a different form. The best way to show people true things is from a direction that they had not imagined the truth coming. Persistence guarantees that results are inevitable. We may be living past and future lives at the same time we are living this one. We have a responsibility to help those around us and help others in need. There is need to embrace flexibility and make a switch where and when necessary. It's your dream, it's your journey, so find a way. When you give your mind, body, and heart the message that you are worth the effort of being conscious, miraculous things start to happen. The problem you and I have, as wrong planet people, is not so much that we mean everything we say, but we expect that everyone else does too. Be known for your kindness and sympathy, for a kind gesture can heal a wound that only compassion can heal. When it's possible for you to dream, it's not impossible to achieve. The seeker embarks on a journey to find what he wants and discovers, along the way, what he needs. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success. Try your best not to make people sad if you can't make them happy, because some people may be passing through tough time in life. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Focus on your character, not your reputation. Focus on your blessings, not your misfortunes. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to start this day because then I'll just be expected to finish it. The road to success is paved with determination, not with the footsteps of quitters. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. When we begin to live like wildflowers, we put so much of our hearts into blossoming even in the most hostile surroundings. The truth is never what you want it to be, little fox. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. No one is less than. No one is more. We are all exactly the same at the core. Things change, and friends leave. Life doesn't stop for anybody. The happiness of the drop is to die in the river. I hate to say it, but shit really does happen. You just have to get over it. Beat the hell out of it by doing things that make you happy. When ill luck begins, it does not come in sprinkles, but in showers. How you spend your time is more important than how you spend your money. Money mistakes can be corrected, but time is gone forever. Thank people who help you because they make you happy. Thank people who don't help you because they make you strong. Your story is remarkable, even if you don't know it yet.